guys, Kyshira here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to give you a walkthrough and my first impressions of the Profitable Podcast Planner. If you are interested in this review and videos like this, make sure you subscribe to this channel and keep on watching. Okay, so this is the box that was inside of the shipping box that the planner came in. The shipping box was very nicely branded as well. This planner I pre-ordered in December. A lot has changed since I pre-ordered this planner. I actually hired some staff to help me with my marketing, so I don't do a ton of my podcast management anymore. However, I do obviously still record my podcast episodes, so that's one way I'm definitely going to be leveraging this. But before I start to give all of my thoughts and opinions, let's actually get into it because I have not flipped through it just yet. So this is Black woman owned. The founder's name is Tatum. She has a really great podcast and she has classes and things that teach you all about podcasting. Her company is called Anchored Media. So of course the box says the Profitable Podcast X Anchored Media presents the planner, and then they have their logo here. So then when you open her up, she is protected in plastic bubble wrap, and this is the planner. So immediately my first thought is I love the size of this. It's not too bulky. So sometimes my issue with planners that are super specific like this one, where it's like, oh, this is exclusively for podcasting or Facebook or, you know, whatever. They're typically so massive, like they're so big as if they were traditional planners, and it makes it hard to carry them and use them because they're so bulky. Whereas this is a easy, like, oh, I can throw this in my bag. It's not letter size. I can't tell what the dimensions are. If I can figure out what the dimensions are, I'll put it in the comments, but it's definitely like, you know, the planner can fit in both of my hands like this. So you guys can see like the dimensions. So let's get into it. So again, the cover of this looks just like the box. We have some gold spiral detailing, and then we're gonna open it up. So first thing we have a pocket on the inside, which is great. I love pockets inside of planners. And then we get into the content. So let me zoom in for y'all. Okay, I think you should be able to see a little bit. So this first welcome page just gives you an overview of the planner. It tells you to go and download your digital accompaniments, which just came with like a class and a digital version of the planner. And some of the other things that are listed here, like you have a little checklist of what to go and grab. Then this planner has 3 sections per the dividers. The dividers don't have anything written on them, so you can actually go ahead and write on this yourself. And this section says strategic planning. So let's go ahead and get into what this section is about. So here you have a section to write down like your podcast dreams and goals. You can also obviously turn this into like a little vision board if you want to. So that's that space. It looks like you have here an overview of how to figure out like your audience needs, as well as your podcast goals and how to combine them. And so then you have space to go ahead and write this out yourself. So you can write down your audience problems, needs, and shared values. You have space to do a SWOT analysis on yourself, and I'm turning it awkwardly like this because of how the page is. So you have space to do a competitive analysis of a couple different podcasts. So there's a couple pages of that, which is really great. Not enough businesses are doing that. And then here we have an episode outline planner. So you can write in your episode information, the title of it. You can write out if you have any sponsors, your introduction, any announcements that you have, the overall points. And then you have space on this other side to write down your talking points, your conclusion, if you're going to have an offer, things like that. And then this page basically is going to repeat after you finish the other section. So the next page is a template for show notes, which you would put on your website. If you listen to podcasts, a lot of times they have show notes. So you have an outline for this. You have a checklist before you hit publish. You have some additional show notes information, which I'm guessing you can use when you're talking about this on your show. I'm not really sure. We don't do show notes yet, but we will. And then it starts over. So again, you have your podcast episode outline, your talking points, show notes, and then your checklist. I like that it's thorough but still very direct. There's not a lot of like wasted space in here. So that's the bulk of it. I mean, this is like literally your main course. That's the bulk of it. Then you have a section in here for marketing. So here you can write out, well, first of all, you can actually see some marketing dates. So you have in here some holidays that are coming up. You can even write in what month you're launching special things. You have space to identify your listener persona. So you get an example in here. And then you have space to make your own. Then you have some proven marketing statistics in here. I love when planners include helpful information. And then you have space to write out podcasts, what they call the podcast swap list, which is basically you working with another show host where you are both on each other's podcast. You can track your listeners for every episode. So you have more space to track listeners. You have an analytics review. And that's it for marketing. And then the last section is monetize. So you have a monetization checklist of all of the different things you can do in your show to make money. Then you have some tips on how to make money. You have a revenue map worksheet, which is great. A resource list, different apps and tools you can leverage. Space for you to create your advertising rates with tips on how to figure it out. Sponsor list. And that's that. So that is the flip through of the planner. So my initial first reaction and opinions. I think that this is a fabulous idea. I love niche down planners. I especially love all of the space you have to map out your episodes. So one thing that I would actually change, well, not change, but one thing that like I wish there was more of is I wish that there was more space within the metric section, or maybe the metric section was added in here. That's the only thing that's like really sticking out to me, is I would love more space to track my metrics, and I would also like to see a little bit more space to track my marketing. The worksheets in here are fine. I don't think she needed to create any more or like do any extra. I just would have liked more sheets of that. So how we have a ton of this stuff, I would have liked to see a lot more duplicates in the marketing and analytics section. So those are just like two like little small things around that, which I don't even think we called this out the podcast guest pitch template, which is awesome. So those are just two small things that I want to call out. But in terms of everything else, I think that this is a fabulous planner. Again, I love planners that actually include helpful resources and tips versus just being a bunch of blank pages and you have to figure it out. I love that she gives you so much advice on how to maximize your podcast. So if you are a first-time podcaster, a new podcaster, or maybe you already have a podcast but you feel like your show, you know, obviously has room to grow. Maybe you haven't been unorganized. I think this is going to be excellent. And now that I've been able to fully look through this, I can definitely see myself using it. At first, like I said, I was worried because I'm like, oh, I've outsourced the management of my podcast. Can I really use this? But everything that's actually included in here, with the exception of the analytics piece, I will be managing myself, creating my shows, mapping out my talking points, things like that. So I'm really, really excited about that. And again, we have a ton of downloadable tools as well. So like one of them is like an analytics spreadsheet. There's some sales training. So there is additional analytics and marketing content. It's just outside of the planner, but it is included in your purchase. So I'm going to link this down in the description box if you want to grab one. Like I said, if you have a podcast, I highly recommend this. It's just perfect, compact, and it's direct and to the point, right? Like it's not a ton of fluff and just busy work, but it's actually actionable worksheets for your planner. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are interested, check out this planner, and again, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more planner videos, productivity videos, and of course entrepreneurship. With that, I'll talk to you all in the next one. Bye.